AC as the first app can see on the video. We're today doing a Xbox Community League race on Barcelona, and we see here me doing an outlap for qualifying. We are in the 720 SEVO, where we have our own setup, not paid setup. It's our own. You see how we invalidated on outlap. We get a sort of a two cars in front of us. Here we go. This is up this lap for qualifying, and this put us on P10 in the end. So we'll just look at this lap. Beautiful lap. Beautiful lap. So that was our lap. We had a bit of mistakes. I know I can improve, but I'm not that good of a driver yet, so we just skip right on to the race. So here we go. Okay, we are standing behind one of our teammates. 999 from Mark. We have a left. Up left. Here we are on the tires, trying at least. We want to get him into the optimal window of 27 psi. Yeah. And we have one of our teammates, 2 cars in front, as I said. We are actually starting P11 instead of P10. So here we go. This is the end of the formation lap, and we are doing a rolling start. And we are right behind our teammate. We're trying to stay below that 70 kilometers an hour window to not get a penalty. And here we go racing. We get a better launch than car in front. We try to get a window, but we can't, so we lift a little bit to just not get into any contact. We lift and we brake a little early, lift early and brake early to not get into any trouble. Oh, there's the Ferrari having some contact, and here we have the Mustang rejoining, and we accidentally tapped him on the side. And we get some damage on the right. It's not optimal. We are lost in the race. I accidentally switched to TC1, but we switched this fast back to TC2. We go now for a 2 times the speed time lapse. You see we have our tires into temperature. They are a little bit high on PSI. I said we need a 27 psi window. It's a little bit too high. But we tried to catch up to the car front. Oh, we got a little bit of moment out of them. And we just get at exit. Try and get as high exit speed as possible. There's already 3 people into the pits, probably for damage. They're probably going in for some damage. And this race is only mandatory pit stop. It's one mandatory pit stop, and you can't change any tires. You can only add fuel and takes damage and such. But we catch up to the riding car. We accidentally brake a little bit late, but avoid contact, and we get him on the exit. But we don't really get him all the way. We try around the outside, but we can't quite get there. We now go into the mini chicane. What you can think, what do you even call this? Like a bus stop or something. We try to set up the exit. We see a McLaren into water. Another 720S, a fellow Maca user. We get the slipstream, hug into the slipstream, and we just try to get it as much speed as possible, and we just speed right past him. We brake a little bit late to try and defend that inside line, but he tries to stay on the outside, but we brake a little late to close that door. We hold it. A little bit of mistake there, running a bit wide. We now brake on the 50 board, try to carry the brakes into the apex. It's a lovely lap after that overtake. We now speed up again to 2 times the speed to just get all the footage used. And we have the Porsche, a yellow Porsche instead of the red Porsche, making a bit of mistake there on the last corner on the exit. We catch up a bit but lose a bit again. We're 7 tenths behind, 8 tenths behind. So we're gaining a bit of time but losing in some places. We are 2 tenths up on a delta. Actually 4 tenths up on a delta. We have done the first 4 laps of the race. And we're trying to catch up to the yellow, not McLaren, the yellow Porsche. And we just can't quite get there. But we are right now P12. We haven't done our stop yet. And we're catching up. We're catching. Just trying to get there. And there goes the Porsche into the pits. We're now P9 after 2 guys going to the pits. And we try to catch up to the Ferrari in front. But he's a little bit too fast for us. But we keep trying. We lose a bit. We gain a bit. But in the end, we gain and gain enough. But here we change so we don't change our tires and our bodywork damage. So, guys, the damage wasn't so bad as it could have been. We could have had so much more damage to suspension, but we didn't. So it was great. The car didn't feel unstable. It was just the right damage to the right side of the car. Isn't too bad. If you get front damage or rear damage, then you could oversteer or understeer a lot. You don't want that. But here we go, trying to make a move. But we lose. We lose it a bit. Break a little bit too late. Trying to avoid the Ferrari in the front. Wasn't too pretty. But we at least don't crash and don't. We don't destroy his race and absolutely don't destroy ours. We don't get any more damage. We're happy for that. By this time, I actually forgot I had damage. And I just changed the fuel, don't change the tires and the bodywork and the suspension, because we don't want to fix that, because it isn't a big problem right now. But we are now trying to catch the Ferrari again, because we know we are faster, but we just can't really get there. So we're now on our in lap. We check so we have the right amount of fuel. We lower it a bit so we don't have that so much extra fuel, but in the end we actually have a lot of extra fuel, so I could have probably cut down that even more. But we see the Ferrari is catching a little bit of the grass on the inside, but it really doesn't catch our interest. By this time we are P6 and 2.4 seconds behind the Ferrari in front. We are now 30 minutes left in the race, and we are going into the place we made a mistake, but we get it really good this time. A nice and pretty exit. Tires are a bit too hot, but we make it work as we go into that braking zone and corner. We now have P7 behind us in 1.5 second, 1.4 seconds behind us, and we are actually losing a bit of pace here over the stint. So we're now in for our in lap, and we are now going into this long right-hander. It's 180-degree right-hander. We're now going into the sort of chicane or bus stop, and we will go to the right side and just get into the pits, and don't brake too early because too late, because we don't want to hit the Ferrari. Put a pit limiter on, and we look for our red box in the distance. We see it here on the right. We have a pit stop is 8.4 seconds, and we hope we will jump that Ferrari. We drive a little bit forwards, cut the engine, and we just wait. We wait for that pit release, and here we go. We have a mandatory stop cleared, and we actually jumped the Ferrari in the pits. This is a good sign that we are in a good position for points. We are P14 when we come out, and we realize the Ferrari has a drive-through for speeding in the pits. This is a dream. We don't have to worry about the Ferrari, but we do, and that is a bit of a mistake from us. Our tires are in the in a better window for PSI, and we cut back to 2x speed, and it's a sort of time lapse, and we run a bit wide, but the Ferrari can't really get past. We see if he can get us down this straight, because this is going to be close. He's 3 tenths behind, and does he send it? Oh yes he does. Of course he tries to send it and touches our rear, but we don't get any damage. But he actually hit us there a bit, so we had to pull. If he would have pulled to the left hand side, he would not have hit us, because I wasn't turning in. If I would have turned in, I probably would have avoided contact, but he was the one sending it. And there he dives into the pits again to serve his drive-through penalty. And we have another guy into the pits. It's the P21 car. He's a bit down. The P1 and P2 have not done their stop yet. They are 5 seconds behind. The Ferrari we battled with before has now served his drive-through. That means he's going to try and catch up into the field. We have 8 minutes left into the race, so I don't think he actually will catch us in this race. But we have our front brakes a little bit hot. We see that the P1 and P2 are getting closer and closer. Oh, this is going to be close. Tires are in good PSI window, and we get that first corners right. Very good up on here. And we are on lap 12. And with 6 minutes left in the race, close to 7 minutes left, we are P14, still on the lead lap. Ooh, we gotta see here. He's 2 seconds behind. Ooh. And we make that braking zone work, but our front brakes are... So yeah, we are in the chicane, we are going down the back straight, or not the back straight, the straight, main straight, and he is 1.2 seconds behind. We now realize he is 3 seconds a lap faster than us. 3 seconds a lap, not 3 laps quicker, because that is close to not possible. But we lose the back end, and this is a big mistake from us, because we lose 2 positions down here, and we will have to regain that back. It's not going to be easy, but here we have our friend, the yellow Porsche again. And are we going to be able to make this move in time? Is it going to be possible? And I think it's the red Ferrari front that served his drive through, so he hasn't lost too much time. But is it going to work for us? And there we have our first warning of track limits. This is going to be close. Our tires are overheating. Our PSIs are in the roof. We are 2 seconds behind. 4 minutes left. Run a bit wide. Are we going to get a good exit? I think we are getting a sort of good exit. We have a lap time of 1:56. Close to 1:57. We're now going back here for the 14th time this race. And we are still we have gained about 5/10. And there the Ferrari goes wide, and we get him. The Porsche is 2.5 seconds behind, in front, so he's going to keep that position, I think. This is intense. We make a little bit of mistake there, but the Ferrari is still behind. We try to get a good exit. We get a good exit. We get about 8/10 on the Ferrari behind after we made that mistake. And we now go back into here for the 15th time in P15. And we go up here, go for the braking zone 50-meter board, carry the brakes in, go early on throttle, make a bit of making corrections. PSIs are exploding by this point. The tire should not be alive. And we get into here, and we brake good, and we get into here again. Go for the long right-hander, make a bit of mistake on the exit. We go into the chicane, and on the exit, make a bit of a correction on the exit. We're now on the last lap, and we're going into the going into the first few corners, and the leader has finished the race with a big penalty and loses that first position for not making his mandatory pit stop. The Ferrari behind, we're keeping him behind. He's 2 seconds behind. 3 seconds behind, close to 3 seconds behind. He's 3 seconds behind. The Porsche in front is 5 seconds in front. If he wouldn't have lost that much time by the Ferrari when he was making his mistake, we wouldn't have lost as much time, and we would have probably been able to fight for that P13. but we're now coming into the last chicane, and we are now on the exit of the last corner, and we are celebrating a bit for finishing our first XCL league race. And here we have the standings. Finished P14. Great race from our view. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Please join the streams if you want to see this live. I stream on Twitch. I have the same name on Twitch as I have on YouTube. So it's just to tune in, and you're always welcome. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.